Let's look at Evan Stewart. Number one wide receiver in the portal. Number two player in the portal for a lot of places. Former five-star, former number one wide receiver in the country coming out of high school. Yeah, he's gone. Jimbo Fisher leaves. Elijah Robinson leaves. Texas A&M brings in Colin Klein. Evan Stewart says no thanks. I'm going to go somewhere else. All the teams that you thought, though, that he might go to, right? Alabama. Thought he might go to Texas. Feels like all those teams are out on him for whatever reason. And what's left? Some very good teams, though. You thought Tennessee, apparently they're out and talk. They're not talking to him anymore. Ole Miss is still on the table. Oregon's on the table. Is FSU on the table? I don't know. I mean, he can go anywhere he wants, right? He's going to get a solid NIL deal. You know he is. He's got a nice brand for himself. He does a lot of good stuff on TikTok. So but regardless of all the off the field stuff, he's a very, very talented, very, very talented player, right? He shines. You know, things he can improve on, of course, catching traffic, right? Yeah, dropping some of those contested catches, but he's also made hella great catches contested wise, right? You're looking at games like against Alabama last year when he absolutely mossed Terrion Arnold, made him look silly. I mean, Evan Stewart is an insanely talented player, and he is the best wide receiver in the transfer portal for a very good reason. He is so talented. He's a former soccer player. He could have played collegiate soccer if he wanted to. He could have been on the United States. If he wanted to, and he really trained for it, he probably would end up being on the men's national team at some point. He's got insane footwork, light feet, good hands, good vision. I mean, he's a very good football player. And Texas A&M will be missing a lot. Now that wide receiver room for Texas A&M is pretty deep as it is, uh, including the players that they got in the transfer portal. But like I said, very, very heavily talented player that unfortunately has been injured this year. Now, why did he leave? He put some stuff out on Twitter, some speculation that the medical staff kind of mismanaged his injury and didn't really tell him exactly what was going on accurately. And, that you lose some trust there. I get it. Go do what's best for you. So good luck to Evan Stewart. Do you have any insight on where he might land?
I don't think really anyone knows right away. You have you kind of have the classic NIL suitors in here: Ole Miss, big spenders; Oregon, big spenders; USC, big spenders; Florida State's in there. Even Washington, they threw them in there because of the success they've had this year passing the football with those wide receivers. And obviously, Stewart would love to be a guy like Roma Dunze to be featured like that. Obviously, Will Rogers. I don't know if he quite moves the needle like Michael Penix does, but needless to say, though, Ryan Grubb and staff there, I'm sure, has a pretty attractive offering to Evan Stewart. Yeah, Ole Miss to me, I feel like I just have a gut feeling it's going to be there. I don't wherever he ends up, like you mentioned, he's going to be a stud. There's some other A&M players that are already going to Ole Miss, so maybe he follows them there. I don't think he ends up anywhere near Syracuse with Elijah Robinson and all the A&M connections there. I don't think he'll end up there. I don't think he quite wants to play with Concord and whatnot. And if he had frustrations with Max Johnson, he's probably not going to love Concord. And but yeah, he's an uber talented player, 5-star for a reason, stud in the portal. Probably has one more year before the NFL draft. He's not the biggest guy. Like he's listed at 6 feet. I feel like he's 5'11", 5'10", not super. Only 175, not super big. But I love the way he high points the football. You mentioned his catching traffic is not there yet, but he's working on it. I do like at times it flashes. He can get open, run every route. He's a tremendous football
He's
player,
so good.
and he was A&M's best receiver for the past 2 years. Coming on campus as a freshman, he's everything that they wanted to be. Obviously, you look at a guy like Zion Branch and what he did for USC this past year. Evan Stewart, in a similar way, is just so explosive, so good for you, and to have a true number one like that is it's just so valuable. And we see that in the modern passing day, in the modern college football. Like this is everything. Having a wide receiver one like that. There's reason why Ole Miss wants him so bad. There's reason why Oregon wants him so bad. I think with Ole Miss, he would be such a nice fit alongside Trey Harris, wouldn't he?
I would hate it a lot as an A&M fan. I would hate it a lot.
That tells you how good that tells you how good he is. If he makes your rivals a little bit nervous for sure, like that means he's a damn good player.
Or I just don't like Lane Kiffin as an A&M fan. Either way,
Well, yeah.
either way.